And here we go for the very first time. We're not going to do any preamble, just to point out that this is a 5th edition game of Dungeons and Dragons set on Ravnica, focusing on everyday Ravnica people. And that if I rule something a little bit differently than you understand it in the rulebook, it's a house rule. And if I rule differently later, now that's the house rule. Now, back to the recap. I mean, now to recap for the first time.
Like the last time.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, where we left off last time, the group of us, including our wonderful chair, we're just starting to build up the new news station for the new news station that would be broadcasting on air. I came from the newspaper side of it, but the other people have come from various different directions to put this all together. So we're sent out on an assignment to cover the Simic Combine's new water park and to get a signature from their leader to get an agreement to allow the broadcasting to actually happen. So we go over there, and the actual water park opening was fairly uneventful, though apparently some people thought it was fun.
The water park hasn't opened yet. You were at the preview.
Okay, we were at the preview. So it was that part was fairly uneventful. And then we went to talk to the leader fellow, and he agreed to sign our documents if we give him a good glowing review of everything that they're doing. We agreed to this because it seemed reasonable. And they led us down into where the mutation chambers are located. Unfortunately, there seemed to be an infestation of strange critters, and we ended up having to
fight demons, in fact.
Small demons, yes. We ended up having to fight them, wrecking some of the property and releasing one of the mutated people things that was being grown in the chamber, which we had to fight as well. It was rather messy. I lost a good dagger. But, it was what it was.
And do you remember what I said as we closed the session?
I remember that we were going to start back at the office having...
I pointed out that the room that the conversion chamber, mutation chamber, was lined with boarding rooms, which meant that the demons shouldn't have been able to get in there.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, let's go around and introduce everybody's characters. Let's start to my direct right, which would be Mr. Jordan.
Hello, I'm Jordan. I am playing the role of Adelchi, the Orzhov Syndicate bureaucrat for the Ravnica News Network and this specific news team. If you got a problem, I have a packet of documentation that I need to file and sign.
You know what you actually need to see is, I'll solve it.
I'll solve it after you fill out this paperwork in triplicate and make sure that it is sent through the proper channels and I get proper approval from the right desk.
And then Aimee?
I am Zimzix. I am a goblin photographer, again, from the newspaper side of this whole journalism venture. I'm new to the broadcast section. I kind of take the lead on things and get us into places and, get these knuckleheads to behave themselves. I don't care so much about the documentation or the money. We just need to get things done.
Poetics.
I'm Poetics, and I represent Ruric Welpten, who comes from the HR side of things, namely the holistic employee improvement program, where we teach things such as yoga, spiritual connectivity, and the joys of moss. And my job is largely to be the moral compass of the party. He enjoys having fun and making sure that everyone gets along.
Pointing out that you missed the opportunity to call it the Holistic Employee Meditation Program, which acronyms to HEMP.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And also very appropriate.
So, it's been about 2 weeks since your journey into the Zonot for the Simic Compine. The channel is on the air, and things are going great guns. There is some opposition to it, obviously, because there is to every new technology. But overall, they are very happy with the way things are progressing. And the three of you are called to a briefing room early on, call it a Thursday morning. I know that Ravnica is supposed to have its own days of the week calendar, but bollocks to that. I can't be asked. So we'll call it a Thursday morning. Three of you are summoned to one of the briefing rooms, a middling floor of the building.
Middling floor.
Yeah, you're not going to the top floor today, but you're going.
Not in trouble yet.
Yet. So, you walk into the briefing room, and there's like some coffee set up and some bagels, and there's like a set of, like, for those weird people, there's like fruit that don't do bagels. And
They're your friends.
Just the three of you sat in there for now, and your briefing will come in a few moments. So I'll let you talk amongst yourselves for.
Any idea what we're going to be talking about today?
Munching on his bagel and taking a sip of coffee. Not that Adelchi has any issue with nerves. Surely it's just another fluff piece again.
Yeah, probably. I think they're trying to take it easy while they're breaking things in.
I wonder if it's going to have something to do with animals this time.
Does it ever?
Well, I heard of a petting zoo that might be opening eventually. That would be neat.
I guess it is the only way for animals to be found in our city, is for zoos or Selesnya parks.
Or infestations.
Suppose.
Do you have something in your office?
Maybe we'll be sent to go find animals. Maybe there are animals that people think are an infestation, but are actually really valuable and rare and special and should be preserved in a park. That's what we're going to go do.
Oh, Johnny.
Uh-huh. Anyway.
No?
Eventually we'll have to get to the more hard-hitting stuff.
Like a rhino.
What?
It's a hard-hitting animal. A rhino. Do not get in front of those things when they charge.
I will make note of that.
Yeah, keep it in mind.
All right, so as you say that, the door opens, and in walks Jandis. who is the head Rakdos representative here at the station, and is one of the major on-air talents for the network.
Mhm.
She's the kind of woman that she's always perfectly put together. You know what I mean? Like she rolls out of bed with perfectly clean hair and well done makeup, right? Like she's that kind of lady. She walks in and she's got her entourage with her, like her note takers and things like that. And she walks to the head of the table and sits down and looks at the three of you.
I'm just kind of imagining like one of these big boardroom tables.
Yeah.
And the three of us have to sit at one end because we're just that low on the totem pole. There's nobody else in the room, and she's like 50 feet down at the other end of the table.
It's not that bad, no.
I'm guessing she doesn't typically come to briefings.
Not
Probably
really.
not the ones we come to.
No.
She gets nice little one-on-one.
But you would surmise from the last 2 weeks or so that from sitting at the head of the table, she's going to be the one giving the briefing. So she sits down. She's like, really hope they would choose someone from her own guild. But, say lovey.
Who runs the station?
Where are you reporting? So, the editor-in-chief has asked me to get you access to the new event that the Rakdos are planning. It's not one of our standard performances today. Now, what you know of Rakdos performances are they pop up out of nowhere and are usually blood-filled carnage circuses. Like a mix between a big top and a BDSM club when you go in there, right? Like, however, the guild has tried to diversify its performances recently, and we have put in an installation down on the docks here in District 7, being run by the Masa Aki Imaginarium. And it will be going to be your job to go and interview the performers and the director and the various people on hand and enable us to promote it before its opening.
All right.
So we want people to come to this.
Yes.
Got it.
As I said, it's not our standard performance. It's a little more
R-rated.
reserved, shall we say.
Like it's more restrained?
Oh, there's plenty of restraints in our normal performances, darling.
Just leave it there.
Okay.
When you get there, say that I sent you. The doorman on the stage door should let you in, and the performers should be more than amicable to whatever you need.
So go in, slip them your name, and then find out what they're up to so we can spread the word to the populace. Yeah.
I think you may be missing the point here. little
Don't worry,
Ruric.
we got this.
We're not. They're not under suspicion of anything.
No.
Wink at me like that again, and I'll have your eye out with your own jawbone.
Yes, madam. We understand completely what we are here to help promote the new Rakdos circus here in District 7 as a more restrained affair than the typical Rakdos offerings, and you would like us to bring first-hand interviews of the performers there, and no matter what our Selesnyan consultant may insinuate about the behavior, it is all perfectly legitimate and normalized.
Excellent. At least one of you. Yes.
I thought people are attracted to scandal. I mean, that's what I've learned over the past couple of weeks.
Master Ruric, please stop
Okay.
before this room is destroyed and I have to file the paperwork to get it repaired. Thank you.
She says, yes, there's they have an installation down on the docks. I'll provide all the information for you to arrive. Yes, just bring back a sufficiently well promoting story for myself and my fellow anchor, Mr. Adenswald, to put on the air this evening.
Absolutely.
All right.
We shall have that for you. In time for the evening news broadcast.
Excellent. Excellent. Dismissed.
Up in appropriate bowing and scraping. I better go down and requisition some first aid kits.
I don't think we're
be
going to get
injured?
involved.
But please, Zimzix, when was the last time you were anywhere in the remote vicinity of a Cult of Rakdos festivity where you didn't peripherally get involved?
No comment.
I'll bring the armor.
It's better to be safe than sorry when going to one of these events, I think.
Even if they're just practicing, it could be dangerous.
It is dangerous. I think it's a more appropriate term. So I think before we head off to the docks, I'm assuming more like airship docks than boat docks.
No, it's like
river. Okay.
Like a. So there are two levels of Ravnica, right? There's like the undercity. There's technically three if you include like the bottom of the Zonots, but there are two main inhabited levels of Ravnica. The undercity where all the Golgari stuff is basically, and then there's the upper city where kind of everything else is. But there is small rivers and things like that move between the two.
Okay.
So it's like a dock on a river rather than like, and it's a way that food tends to come up from the undercity to the overcity. You get shipped up these like locks and things like that. But there are airship docks there as well, because Ravnica does have airship technology.
And then I think before we head off to here, at least I would like to acquire a few healer kits.
Okay, so you're going down to the quartermaster?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Adelchi, while you're down there, can you see about my requisition of daggers?
You know, you could have just got your dagger back, right? You could have just got your dagger back.
It was covered in
You'd
goo.
have nothing to complain about.
Then you clean it.
Once a dagger is gooed, you can't just ungoo it. I
Don't
mean,
know what that goo will happen to be. I wasn't going to touch it.
So you head down to the quartermaster's, who is actually like underground near all of the Izzet installation, and you walk in, and there's a tall, blue-skinned Vidalcan behind like a, you know, like the typical, almost like shop window kind of thing with like I don't want to say a computer, but it's definitely some kind of counting machine. And he's got a big ledger book in front of him, and got like a pair of glasses that's got like 15 different lenses that he can like switch in if he needs to. You know, the kind.
Yep. I'd like to requisition a healer's kit for a field assignment that my team is going on. And then I also have this, which is a restocking of a dagger for one of our operatives.
The Vidalcan takes your the requisition request for the dagger and is like, I'm afraid this is only filled out in duplicate. I need at least triplicate.
Well, you require my healer's kit. I will fix the...
You two are speaking the same language.
Once you have filled out the paperwork, then I will acquire your healer's kit.
I will take the time to do so, including correcting the bureaucratic mistakes Zimzix made about requesting a replacement dagger.
All right, roll me a what should we call it? Roll me a I'm trying to decide what skill would be best here. If you accurately
you're looking for like a bureaucracy check.
yeah.
Religion.
It's a pity we're not doing it's a pity we're not doing an acquisitions incorporated game. Just could get you to roll efficiency document. Here. Let's have you roll. Persuasion.
13.
13. I'm going to say you don't fluff anything particularly. You do get your things appropriately filled out, and you are provided with the first aid kit. And since you refill out Zimzix's paperwork as well, then you get another dagger. And as he hands the dagger over, there's it appears this is the 13th dagger this goblin has requested last 2. Please inform them they can clean and retrieve their weaponry.
Absolutely, because I'm sure neither of us really need the headache replacing House Dimir.
Every time that bloody goblin requires a dagger, it's 3 hours of paper.
It is simultaneously the worst sensation and the best.
And he, your fellow member of Orzhov bows and makes the sign of Saint Patrius, the patron saint of compound interest.
I bow in return with the hand gesture of Saint Initialus, the patron saint of the bureaucratic system.
Initialist, did you say?
Yes. Saint Initialus here, and here, and here.
You hurt yourself with that one, didn't you?
I did.
Dangus. All right, so we've acquired the kit and the dagger. Poetics, what are you doing while? What is Ruric doing while the other two do bureaucracy?
So Ruric has learned from previous outings that he should probably not leave his armor at home, because with how frequently things turn into things where armor would be beneficial. So strapping on his armor and the like, I assume this is not the first time we've gone through the requisition process, so I assume it's going to take an hour or something like that. I think he's going to be tending to some of the new moss cultivars that he's growing in the yoga room.
Okay. You just sort of potter around and put your armor on and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing.
Generally, be a Selesnya.
Crazy. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So you head out towards the docks. This is where we come to some box text. We start with the Cult of Rakdos. The Cult of Rakdos are Ravnica's joy bringers and entertainers. The usual form of this is that of performers in circuses. Huge productions that involve death-defying feats. Frankly, just quite a lot of death, or at least blood. But for the other members of the cult, it can also mean sewing outfits for the shows, being an actor, or running a coffee shop. Thing is, you better like whatever it is they are doing, because they have the backup of Ravnica's most preeminent demon. That's right, signing up for the Cult of Rakdos isn't just treading the boards and entertaining, it's entering into a pact with a demon. And as you can imagine, this discourages your average Ravnican from leaving a bad Yelp review. Some call them psychotic. Some call them deranged. Let's be honest. You'd have to be to think, you know what I want to do for a career path? A trapeze act 30 feet above a pit of whirling chainsaws that are on fire. But not all members of the Cult of Rakdos are unbalanced. Worth noting that the cult's touring performance of the illicit Maze the Musical has been topping must-see charts in every district for 4 years now. The Cult of Rakdos is literally an exercise in not judging a book by its cover. So, all over Ravnica, stages for the Cult of Rakdos' more deadly performances appear and disappear in a scene. Very rarely do they advertise ahead of time. So usually it is safe to assume that most pre-advertised Rakdos performances are, well, not family friendly per se, but you get the point. Such is the case with the troupe of the Masaaki Imaginarium, a show that has had posters and flyers circulating the 7th District for months. And the opening night is in a few days. As you reach the Oceanborn precinct and make your way to the docks, the large warehouse that the company has taken over is apparent very quickly. Standing out from the other warehouses that stand painted in white and grey with plain roofs and unadorned windows, the Imaginarium is quite different. The outside is meticulously painted with deep reds and blacks, to the colours of the Cult of Rakdos. The roof is no longer a simple peak. It now more closely resembles the point of a big top. Across the walls, images of what could possibly lay within are stylistically painted and realised across the surface. The double cargo doors on the north side are what will serve as the public's entry space. Your destination is the stage door on the east side of the building. You pull up on like a pack Indrik with like a camera crew and that kind of thing. What are you doing?
All right, I'll go up to the door. Knock, knock, knock.
Okay, go out to the door and there's like a big minotaur, like sitting on a ridiculously small stool. And on the other side of the door, there's a Loxodon sitting on a similarly ridiculously small stool, and they're both like reading books and just passing the time because the show doesn't start for like 2 days, and most of the performers are already inside practicing, so they're just like, oh, guess it's a free lunch break. Like,
Yeah, excuse me, Jandis sent us.
who are you then?
We're from Ravnica Cable.
Says the Minotaur.
Yeah. We're from Ravnica Broadcast. What is it called?
The Ravnica News Network.
Yeah,
Oh, right, that thing with the pictures and the news and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Say, Jandis sent you?
Yep.
All right, I'll go have a word with the boss. And the Minotaur is inside.
So, what's the show like?
And then Loxodon's like, no, I haven't seen it.
Hmm.
My job's to work out here.
Fair enough.
Besides, dress rehearsal's not till tomorrow.
Anyone trying to sneak in lately?
Well, there's these 3 really annoying people. It was a Selesnya, a Dimir, and an Orzhov. Dead shade.
We're not trying to sneak in.
He's clearly making fun of the Selesnya.
Intrigue.
You should be looking out for them.
We'll keep all the cameras peeled.
About 5 minutes or so later, the Minotaur comes back and he's like, yeah, the boss says, you check out, come on in. And he walks you inside. And once you get inside, your standard Rakdos performance is a little bit more like a 3-ring circus kind of thing. This is a lot closer to like your Cirque du Soleil kind of thing. But there's definitely the trappings of a circus here. Like, there's a big cannon on one side for like a human cannonball trick. There's like the like trapezes and eye wires. Pretty sure you see a clown car somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, but it's a lot more Cirque du Soleil than it is like Barnum and Bailey. To give you an idea. Like the inside's all draped with like silks
And are people actually like actively performing or practicing?
Yeah, up on the stage. Like there's a young woman checking over the cannon, a couple of people who are working on the winches to make sure they're working properly, that kind of thing. And then there's just other people doing like stretches and practicing trapeze moves, like a big crash mat where they're practicing flips and just your traditional practice stuff, really.
Mm-hmm. Is it like the middle of the afternoon?
It's about like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. I'm going to look over to our head investigator and see what she has to say.
Looks pretty standard. Wish Janice had mentioned contact.
So the Minotaur who's walking through it is kind of like giving you the guys like over here is the seating and blah 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 blah. And as you get like if you imagine like the seating's in like a semicircle around the stage, as you get further around the stage, you can see there's definitely a small goblin who's kind of pointing things out to people, and people are kind of doing what he says. And he like barks a few orders and that kind of thing, and people run off and start getting jobs done. And the Minotaur's like, "Oh, if you just take a seat for a minute, he'll be with you in a minute."
Will do.
Okay.
I think we should acquire some B-roll or pictures of the setup. Something. That...
Oh, I'm always taking pictures of things, and
the cameras are generally grabbing B-roll.
Yeah, and even though the big guy isn't with us, as you said, there was a crew, so
yeah,
there's people snapping that stuff.
Yeah. Zooming in on the cannon, like ooh, and stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so
go
ahead. Someone was saying something.
No, it was me. Can I make like can I do a perception to sort of see if anything seems out of above and beyond either what this was pitched to us as by Jandis, or even more extreme for a Rakdos performance?
How familiar do you think you are with Rakdos performances? Is it the sort of thing that Adelchi would go to for fun?
I can't imagine Adelchi having fun.
I won't say that he's familiar. It's more of a familiarity from having the same level, mostly the same level of familiarity of anybody who's ever heard of the Barnum and Bailey circus or whatever. Right. But I'd also feel like it's something he would have at least gone to a couple of them, either out of a sense of morbid curiosity or on a task.
Right. So I'll give you a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You can roll perception, or you can roll religion.
Do religion.
Okay.
19.
There are way outside of like the coloring and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
There are way less of the trappings of Rakdos. Right? They're not like proudly showing the symbol everywhere. Like every other person isn't a demon, some form, right? Like they don't have like mephits and things like that running around cleaning up. They
So it does seem to be a bit more of a toned down. What
as,
people
as,
when
as,
you say
as was pitched to you, yes.
okay, cool. Excellent.
Yeah, you just sort of like sitting there waiting. And about 5 minutes later, after he's finished after you see the Goblin do like a tour of the stage, checking on all the performers and that kind of thing. Like he like corrects one of the dancers' postures and like, no, that's not where that goes. It goes over there, and that kind of thing. And he eventually makes his way over to you. He goes, "Good afternoon, folks. Name's Gorzez."
Gorzez?
Yes, Gorzez. Orzez. Gorzez.
Hi, I'm Zimzix, and these are my associates Aldechi and Ruric. We were sent by Jandis to take a look around and give you guys some press.
Fuck. Sorry, Italy just realized.
Did I say something wrong?
Damn, I hate good press.
He's like, oh, yes, okay. And you are
Zimzix.
from?
Oh, Ravnica News Network.
Oh, right. Okay, yes. That makes a little more sense. Right. So, what do you need from us?
Interviews.
Yeah, that'll work. Interviews. Can we see a little bit of performance? Mostly.
You just let us know what you want, and we'll cooperate as best we can.
What do people need to know? What are they not expecting? What'll get people in seats?
Aren't you supposed to tell me that? You're the media.
So, who would you consider the star of the show?
Ooh,
Is it the Cannon?
Actually, you're not too far off. The climax of the show is our human Cannonball segment.
Ooh.
Okay, can we talk to the human?
Diana?
Or...
Yeah, she was just over checking on the cannon. Yeah, give me a moment and I'll go and get her for you.
Thanks much.
Yeah. And
you're excited about something that's not moss?
Well, I mean, that's a really big machine. And even if it's a simple machine, that's neat.
All right, then.
I mean, it's like a boulder made of metal.
That shoots other boulders made of metal.
Exactly.
Or people.
Or boulders made of people. Exactly. That's neat.
all right, so about 5, 6 later, he comes back and he's like, Diana said if you want to go through to her dressing room, you can interview her there.
Wonderful.
And what exactly is your position with the show?
I'm the director.
Director. Okay. All right. We may come back to talk to you when we're done with her.
I'll try and be available. I'm very busy. We open in 2 days, so
yeah, no, understandable.
So one of the like stage hands, just a random sort of human, leads you through the backstage, down a couple of hallways to the dressing room, and knocks on the doors like, Miss Milaneska, you're the interviewers are here. Like, yeah, bring him in. And
Oh, man, thank you for talking to us.
You step into a dressing room with like one wall's got like a big mirror on it, additional like lights around it. There's like a big bouquet of flowers and all kinds of chests of drawers and things like that. With like costume racks and things like that. And she's sort of sitting on a stool in front of the mirror in like a dressing like a gown. She turns. He indicates like a couch for you to sit on. Like, please.
Thank you. So, how long have you, I guess, been with this company? I'm not sure
Well,
exactly.
I joined the Imaginarium in date that was about 2 years ago. But I've been with the cult since I was small. Since I was a child, in fact.
So you grew up with the cult?
Everyone joins up with the cult. Jed grows up
Grew
with
up.
the cult.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
You would know that it's very common for children to join the guild of their parents. So it's
Very familial.
Yeah. Very rarely does like the kid of two Dimirs join the Azorius, for example.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Unless they're super weird.
All right. Well, how long have you been doing this particular act?
5, 6 years.
It's pretty good longevity for being shot out of a cannon.
If you do it right, it's not that much different from a longfall.
Let's not record that part because it's very dangerous, and people should definitely come and see it. Right?
Yes.
Well, yeah, we're not recording the actual act, so.
Yeah, we don't want to give anything away.
Right. So, can you tell us a little bit about it?
About what?
About what it's like going up there, performing on stage.
There's this adrenaline rush. And she gets this kind of like far away look in her eyes as she's thinking about it. Just like before the show, you get the feeling in your stomach of nerves, hoping everything's going to be okay and that the audience is going to enjoy it. And then when you're on stage, there's this adrenaline rush that's it's unlike anything you've ever felt. And then you get shot out of the cannon.
What made you choose cannonball shooting?
I don't think I did. It was a role that needed filling in a show I was on once. I was like, yeah, I'll give that a go. And turns out I'm really good at it. Basically.
Survive the first time, keep on going.
Yeah, if you're not a pancake by the third or fourth time you've done it, you're probably onto a winner.
All right. Now, just out of curiosity, what other acts do you admire within the show?
Artists, the dancers. There's this one guy that does a thing where he juggles flaming sabers that are animated. It's really interesting how he still has hands.
He probably keeps them well fed.
I'm sorry?
Well,
animated does not necessarily mean alive.
What is something that a resident of District 7 here would be most surprised about when they come to this particular show?
I think the most important thing to note is this isn't your standard Rakdos performance. It's more about the art form and just having a good time than the standard performances we put on that can get a little graphic.
The Blood Orgy, yes.
That's one way to put it. Other members of the cult may call it worshipping.
Now I know this particular show opens in a couple of days. Does the Messaneca?
Masaaki. Masa-Aki. Masaaki.
Does the Masaaki Imaginarium typically do more refined shows?
We've been working on this one for a while, yeah.
So just out of curiosity, why you would choose to go with the more refined rather than the typical?
Sometimes you just...
Fair enough.
And why this district? Good answer.
Like, if I live in District 7, I'm not going to go all the way to District 10. Like, 7 hours away.
Well, I mean, a new audience hasn't seen your show.
No one's seen this show. It's new.
So, are you going to start your show here, and then if it's successful, you'll tour?
Possibly.
Ooh. Or do you think this will catch on with other Rakdos in other places so they can do a similar show?
I don't think you could ever recreate. You could give them the script. You could give them the order of things. You never create the same unless you have the same actors.
It's more about the style than anything.
Yeah. That's an artistic thing. Like, no two. While Illicit Maze the musical has been popular for 4 years, it's no two performances of it are exactly the same because you have different people playing different role, but playing the same role. So they bring different things. Like one person's Jace Beleren is going to be different to another person's.
Someone could go through the acts of meditating, but unless they're meditating themselves, it's just not the same.
Yes, people have different ways of meditation.
Yeah. Someone could look like they're meditating and just not get it. Someone could look like they're being shot out of a cannon and just not get it.
Someone could look like they should be questioning someone and just not get it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Liz, do you have anything that you want to let the public know before the show starts?
All I'll say is, if you've been staying away from the show, avoiding buying tickets because of the reputation of the Cult of Rakdos, just give it a try.
Quoted.
How many nights are you performing?
It's an installation. We'll be here for.
Ooh. But we want to make sure people come to the opening night and the opening week, right?
Oh, tickets for opening night have been sold out for months.
So they should get their tickets for as soon as they can.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Do you guys have anything else for Miss Milanese? Milanesca? Excuse me. I'm combining words here.
You're just hungry. That's the Milanese.
What do you get shot into?
Mayonnaise.
That would be giving away the secret, darling.
I'll have to get tickets for 6 months from now, so I can find out.
If you need Moss, he's got connections.
Well, yeah.
She looks at you for a moment and goes, "You're trying to bribe me?"
No.
Don't sell my moss.
People have been trying to get tickets from me for months, so you know.
No, I'm busy this weekend, unfortunately. Thanks, though.
I wasn't offering.
Then we're on the same page.
I doubt we're even in the same library.
Adelchi, do you have any questions?
Do you have any suggestions about what other performers would have some good insight to share with our public?
I'd suggest talking to the director, and probably the trapeze artist, and at least the dancers.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Do you get along with the director?
Yes.
Good.
A very nice man. Except for
Don't hear that often of our kind.
Say that again?
You don't hear that often of our kind.
She looks at you like, most of the goblins I know are really nice. Maybe it's just a problem with you.
Could be. Spend too much time around these guys.
Not enough. You could find your center.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and we'll make sure to get the word out. Hopefully, we'll get some more folks coming to see your show.
Appreciate that. Thank you. And she pulls out something in a language none of you understand. And a stagehand comes and opens the leads you back to the front of house.
While we're walking to the front of house, Ruric is going to turn and say, well, if the show is sold out, why do they need more publicity? It sounds like it's already a success.
I suspect it's sold out to other cultists, but they want to get the word beyond that to the rest of the population to bring in the new blood, really.
Huh.
I'm willing to think that it is probably since they are trying to expand the fan base of the Cult of Rakdos show, they want to, as Zimzix said, they want to let others know. And of course, if it's going to be a more semi-permanent installation, you can't depend on just that first push.
Mm-hmm. Besides, we also play that up that it's been sold out for however long it is, so we can ask the director about that. And the more it looks like a popular thing, the more people will want to watch it. Just kind of one of those, got to have what I can't get.
Okay. Who should we talk to next?
The director, probably. At least, get his impression and then get him to point us to trapeze or dancers.
Okay.
So go look for the director, I guess.
You get to the front of house, and the stagehand's like, right, who do you want me to...
Gorzet, the director of the show, I believe.
I'll do my best. He's very busy.
If he's not available, then whoever heads up the trapeze team.
Okay. Just give me a couple minutes to go find people, and I'll get them to come to you.
Sure.
As best they can. Right, so he runs off, leaving you alone to get more B-roll and that kind of thing. You see like them practicing a dance routine on the stage. Kinds of cool things going. And about 10 minutes or so pass by until a lanky, lithe-looking elf in what looked like sweats, basically, walks up to you. He's got like a towel around his neck. He's sweating, and he like, are you the news team? And
Ravnica News Network.
That one.
He smiles. He's like, my name is Tron, and I head up the trapeze team. I was told you wanted to talk to me.
Yeah, we heard you're one of the big stars of the show, and wanted to know what we should tell the people about your act. Yeah.
Much better.
He sits down into one of the chairs with, and he's like, I'm not sure how to answer that. My team and I are really proud of what we've put together. There's significantly less flaming chainsaws involved in this.
Do you like the lack of flaming chainsaws, or do you kind of miss the flaming chainsaws?
Not gonna lie, it's nice to know that should I fall, I'm not gonna totally eat it. You know?
So this might be a show for the chainsaw averse.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
That was the whole point of the,
Well, I mean, what would you like to get out to the public to draw more audience members in?
That's not really my department.
But you perform, you're in front of people, your entire crew is flipping or something, right? So
have you ever seen a trapeze act?
No. I've seen people jump from tree to tree and fall out, but that's about it.
You've never been to a Rakdos performance before?
I've been outside a couple.
With signs?
No, mainly I was looking for the peanut stand, but
okay.
Yeah, people kept pointing me in different directions.
Kind of weird. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why are you wearing armor?
Oh, because the last time I went out on assignment, I got covered in gross ooze from a monster that escaped from a cage. And it seemed the prudent thing to do to make sure that if any monsters were to break free from a cage here, because I know circus animals, people, that kind of thing, I wanted to make sure that myself and my team were protected.
So you wearing armor is going to protect them?
Yeah.
He's HR.
They often stand behind me. It works out pretty well.
Right.
I got my stick, and I got my shield, and I got my armor. I'm ready for if an owlbear breaks loose, or if some dread hyenas think I look like a hunk of meat, or if a
To be fair, Ruric, you are a bit of a hunk of meat.
well, they don't know that behind the armor.
And you were expecting to encounter dread hyenas here.
Well, like I said, I've been outside a show before, and it sounded like there were some hyenas inside making all kinds of caterwauling, hyena walling.
That probably wasn't
So this is a show for the hyena averse also.
If we were to sit here and list everything there isn't in the show, we may be here sometime.
So,
and as he says that, everybody roll me a perception check.
18.
Perception. 12.
13.
Okay. You all hear the smashing of
hyena
coming.
Probably not.
It's very faint,
mm-hmm.
but it's coming from the backstage area.
Sounds like somebody messed up their act.
Is that a normal part of the act? Do you have one of those people that like breaks vases over their head? It's like a strongman thing. It's like they take a big stone.
Let's go find out what
happened. He's just.
It's okay. I mean, if you want to get back to your practicing, and we want to go talk to some other folks.
Thank you.
He's like, yeah. Cool. Just gonna. You should probably not have him talk to future people.
We'll get the. They mentioned something about taking off the mouths at the Simic place. Anyway, yeah, I Come on, Ruric.
John sits there like trying to work. You ever had one of those?
Out exactly what just happened.
Like you walk off and he sat there like replaying the conversation in his head, going, "Did that just happen?"
Did he react at all when the thing crashed in the back?
When you said what is that part of the thing, he was like, "Is what part of the thing?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he didn't hear that. So
he appears to have not have heard it.
I'm a little loath to actually go wandering around.
You can roll
backstage.
insight if you want. If you want to see if he's play acting, you can roll insight.
Yeah, I'll see if he's play acting on it. 16.
Doesn't seem to be play acting. Well, you don't think he's play acting.
It's all that time in the ropes. Deafens the ears. I mean,
or
if you're
just rolled really badly.
Could be. You said Zimzix is not necessarily enthused to go tromping around in the backstage. Ruric is actually kind of excited to go looking around, not out of like a sense of adventure, but more like I hope no one is hurt kind of thing. Like, hey, I want to see if anyone's injured. Kind of concern.
Well, if he just goes charging off in that direction, we'll certainly try and to catch him.
Oh no! Because you're like, let's get. I mean, you two were like, hey, let's go. Okay, let's just see what's going on with that. And Rook tanked this conversation, so okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what. So if for example, Zimzix is like, oh, I don't know about walking back here. It's like, oh no, someone might be hurt, and I think we'll press
So
forward.
you start heading towards the back.
Yep.
And you've noticed as you've been like walking around, there's like a couple of like Boros like security people kind of hanging out. And as you make for the backstage, one of them stops you and he goes, "Do you have your passes?"
Sorry, we just we heard something breaking back here and just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Well, I'm sure the performers will take care of it.
I mean, we are here to report on things that happen at the circus. We've already spoken with the director.
I speak with the director every day. What's so important about that?
Well, he knows what we're here. He knows what we're doing, and gave us run in the place.
Did he?
Well,
because he didn't tell us.
Well, he's busy.
I'll sort of slide.
Are you trying to persuade?
No, Ruric is actually not.
Okay.
Adelchi will attempt to persuade to.
Go on then.
We are here to do sort of preview of what the Masaaki Imaginarium is bringing to the 7th District, and while Gorzes was a little loose in his terminology of what our limits are, we did hear an incident happen back there, and we would like to lend assistance. I present both my press identifications and my healer's kit on hand, just in case.
Go ahead and roll your persuasion.
18.
Let's roll.
Let's roll his. I don't want to let you in.
He looks at you and he says, "That may all well be well and good, sir, and I'm sure the staff medic, if they need help, will call on you. I will let them know of your availability, but until I am notified, otherwise, you are to not pass without an escort."
I mean, you could escort us. That's fine.
An escort from the Rakdos. Member of the crew, performer, director.
We do have a job to do here, guys. We have some more people to talk to. Thank you for your
and
time.
as you're doing that, another Boros sort of like pokes his head out of the backstage and whispers something in the ear of the other dude, who and runs backstage.
Well, that was
they
abrupt.
both disappear backstage, and the stage door locks.
That was suspicious.
Yeah. I could.
Ruric, do you mind looking over there, and I try to identify as much moss as loudly as possible over there, and Adelchi will lean down to Zimzix, and we may not have a key, but do you think this door was left unlocked by many chance?
I can certainly work my magic.
Hey, go ahead and roll me proficiency thieves tool.
Ruric, I can't hear you listing. I can't hear you listing off all the different flora and fauna you see here in the building.
Well, I mean, fauna. I mean,
there isn't a whole lot.
That guy is a meerkat.
Where is that here?
Okay, so for tools, it would be.
Isn't it normally a sleight of hand?
Not when you're trying to unlock things.
Yeah, yeah. I should be able to.
Okay, so the way that you do unlocking and like practice arming
Mm-hmm.
is a thieves tools,
Right.
which is proficiency bonus plus dex modifier.
Unless you're not proficient, and then it's just dex, right?
But if you're trying to do those things and not being proficient, probably shouldn't be trying to do those things.
Yeah.
fair.
Well, unfortunately, I think I'm more about.
Right, but being a rogue, you are
a rogue,
proficient in
yeah.
thieves tools.
Okay.
Like it's just part of being a rogue.
Congratulations.
Even
You're
if
sneaky.
you flavor it up is that it's the tools you use to keep your camera in maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how to use these to put them in small places to.
Yeah. What I was looking for was the proficiency is just
Proficiency bonus is
Plus 2.
half your level rounded up,
half. Okay. So
so it would be plus 2.
+2. Okay. Let's see. 23.
23. Like, it's that moment of like, Adelchi leans over and goes, do you consider that this door may have been left unlocked? And you're like, but it is.
Didn't you just notice it?
Like
it's unlocked.
Like you'd already picked the lock before he asked, kind of thing.
Oh, like this?
Oh yes.
Now wearing my armor doesn't seem so silly now, does it?
I just like to point out anytime anybody's mentioned the fact that Ruric is walking around his armor, Adelchi kind of uncomfortably shifts his priest's vestments over that's what he wears over his scale mail.
Right, but you are the difference is you're walking around with something over your armor.
Correct.
Right?
Whereas I'm armor.
Yes.
All right. You guys stay here. Keep watch. I'm going to sneak in and take a look.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
Stealth myself in.
Got my
Okay,
stick
roll
and my shield.
Roll me a stealth check.
Oh, yeah. 26.
So you stealth in. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get to as close to the wherever the guards went. So I'm trying to find the guards and see what's going on.
All right, so you stealth around backstage for a little while, avoiding the rushing around stage hands and things like that. And eventually you come to the dressing room. And one of the dressing rooms has a Boros guard outside.
Is it one of the same Boros guards we just saw?
Yes.
Is it Diane's?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. I'm going to try and sneak a peek into the dressing room, which I'm guessing would still be stealth.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you're trying to do the thing a guard outside a star's dressing room is explicitly.
Like,
Yeah, it's not.
How,
It's not
how are you
amazing.
trying to look in the dressing room? Because there is like a guard that's
Yeah.
like 6 foot tall and 4 foot wide in front of the door.
Well, being at least
That
half
is
his size. Oh, it's closed? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably not going to work then. I don't suppose the place is designed to have open ceilings.
Nope.
Yeah.
Sounds like the.
Is there a dressing room next door that might be empty?
All the dressing room doors are closed.
Hmm. All right, I'm gonna try and sneak and take a chance and try and sneak into a nearby dressing room, an adjacent dressing room.
Roll me a d6.
D6.
That's for how many people are inside?
One.
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 That'd be that one. Okay. So you crack the door open on one dressing room, so like slip round, close the door, and you turn around, and there's like 3 dancers sitting at makeup mirrors, kind of doing their makeup.
Okay. Do I need to roll again to keep stealthy?
You've kind of beansed that
Oh, okay.
by opening a door into a small room.
When they're in front of a mirror that faces the door.
They might be busy with doing makeup and not notice, but
I'll roll to see if they notice. But
okay.
It's going to be I'm going to have
pretty
you
easy
roll.
notice.
Have you roll stealth at disadvantage.
Okay. Uh, 11.
At least 2 of them have noticed you.
Okay. Hi, I'm with Ravnica News Network.
Scream.
I know, come on.
And the door is kicked open by said 6 foot tall, 4 foot wide Boros guard who levers a halberd at you.
There's just been a misunderstanding. I'm going persuasion here. There's just been a misunderstanding. Yeah, there's just been a misunderstanding. I'm with Ravnica News Network. We're interviewing some of the performers about the show. I was directed to head into this dressing room, and apparently no one had alerted the young dancers here to our presence. I
Roll me
absolutely
persuasion
no
at disadvantage.
Damn it. Oh, ouch. 5.
Directed by who?
Actually, Miss Milaneska had said that we should talk to some of the dancers.
When?
Oh, but 10, 20 minutes ago?
Did you get a pass to come backstage?
I was not.
Where's your escort?
I'm sorry, we were just at first.
You're under arrest.
Do we hear that from where we are?
Yes. You probably heard the door getting kicked open as well.
I'm going to...
And that's where we're going to take our break.
Yep, that works. That works.
Oh, sorry,
we will
guys.
be back in about 5 minutes or so. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to put up a break screen and be right back.
Excellent. See you in 5.